Fall is very much in the air this morning, and I think probably this week I'm going to move little Oa into the rooster side of the chicken coop that we're not currently using, because as I've mentioned before, in the coop that he's currently in, there's shelter if he goes up the little stairs, but he can't exactly do that because of his walking deformity. And I could move him into the other chicken tractor that we made, because in that one the sides have shelter, so he doesn't have to go upstairs, but he would be just sitting on the ground because he can't exactly get up on anything and perch. So I feel better with him being in the chicken coop where it's definitely warmer and we can actually add heat to it when it's really, really cold. As far as what's left out here in the garden, I don't know that I'm gonna really get any melons because the plants are pretty much dead, and I don't know that the melons really finished developing. There's actually quite a few tomatoes still out here, and in fact I'm gonna need to pick some of these today, probably process those. The corn is still not ready to come down because we're letting all of this corn that's out here dry, and I still have sunflowers down here that I need to get today. But yeah, garden season is wrapping up pretty quick. It definitely won't be much longer, and I don't think this year we're going to be doing any kind of cover crop because we're probably going to be doing amendments to this and covering this with as much hay as we have that'll be possible, although probably even having this much hay is probably just going to cover down here because this is the absolute worst section of the garden.
I need you to dry my face. Look how I behave and all the mess that I made. But I did really do my best, breaking down my neck, and it's me to blame.
For the jalapeno peppers, I'm just putting them in a vinegar solution and keeping them in the fridge. And then for the cayenne peppers, these are mostly just for fresh eating because we don't really have that many. Last year, near the end of the season, we had quite a few, so we picked them all, put them on the smoker to dehydrate them because we don't have an actual dehydrator. But then we just ground that up and we used it as like a hot pepper seasoning. As you start to do things on your own and rely on yourself more and become more self-reliant, you really gain a sense of awe and respect for the people who came before us that had to do these things to survive. For us, if a major crop fails, we can always go to the grocery store. It is an incredible amount of work, and sometimes it's hard to believe just how much they had to work. It is going to be a really beautiful day today. Alright guys, we're gonna get this out of here without spilling it all. I think we put too much in our wheelbarrow. that's it for the sunflowers, and I had just a tiny little bit of room left over, so this actually worked out really well. But had they been full-sized sunflowers, we probably wouldn't have had enough room and would have had to hung more wire. One area of the sunflowers that I was cutting down today was particularly affected by the birds, and there was just a few little seeds left in some of them, so I'm gonna throw those to the chickens. But for the most part, considering, it didn't do too bad. I talked about before how messy these are, so you want to be careful where you hang them. You can see already the mess these things have made, and they are just getting started. That's why if you want to hang these in your house, or somewhere that you don't want it to get too messy, you probably want to put like a tarp or something under them. The little babies that hatched earlier this year by their mama, they are the shyest chickens I've ever seen. They won't come around people at all. Our rooster, Nonami, he's a salmon Feverel. He's such a good dude. I have such a soft place in my heart for him. I've never had a rooster, well, I have had a rooster I like more than Nonami, and that was Uni. And that's another thing I like about Nonami. He reminds me of Uni. He really has been a gentleman to the ladies and looks out for them. Somewhat, I think. But he's not aggressive to people at all. Tonight with dinner, we're having our homemade apple cider. Well, not from our own apples, but it's still homemade apple cider.